Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Listen to me, sister. Nobody dead ever killed again. This channel sucks.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it live.
Welcome everybody to Moviesucktastic episode 230. This is Scott, and the sickly one on the other side of the mic is Joey.
You're delicious.
What's that from?
Spaceballs. Pizza.
Okay. Oh, that's why.
Pizza the Hut. You know when you start. Yeah. Okay. I had to do it. I
don't get it.
I'm sure there will be moments where you won't realize I am as sick as a dog. But
there will be moments when you will.
Oh yeah, because I'm sure throughout this episode, when I listen back to it, I'm just gonna hear. You're gonna think I'm Donald J. fucking Trump. All right. So I apologize in advance if
don't apologize. That means you're wrong. Don't apologize for anything, sir.
If I do that a lot this episode.
So this episode, we're now ankles deep, knee deep in our Oscar reviews for this year.
That's right.
And this episode, we're reviewing the film Arrival.
Directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. Yes.
Who has directed a couple of films that I have not seen yet, but have been wanting to see very, very badly. Like Sicario and Prisoners.
Prisoners and Enemy. Both of those are on my list.
Enemy?
I just haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, that's right. I haven't seen Enemy either.
Mm-hmm. That's a Gyllenhaal film, I'm pretty sure.
Let me see. Well, it would make sense because he did. They did Prisoners together. It is a Jake Gyllenhaal film. Enemy. What was that one about? Oh wow! A man seeks out his exact lookalike after spotting him in a movie. Right.
Now here's the thing. On the previous episode, I had mentioned that it was kind of like another one of those remakes of The Double by Dostoevsky. Apparently, this is actually Enemy was based on a novel by some guy.
And he also is directing Blade Runner.
Saramago.
The Blade Runner 2049, which I did not know he was doing.
Yeah, apparently that's a big thing.
Yeah, I saw I guess it wasn't even a trailer; it was a teaser, and it's got Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford in it. I don't know.
Well, I got a feeling you and I will have to go back and review the original.
Oh, I think so.
Because I'm not a big fan, so that should be interesting.
I've always liked Blade Runner. I've always liked it. I'm not a fan of the 11,000 cuts of the movie. Like, seriously, I'm not. I'm not one of those that prefers the voiceover Harrison Ford ending. Driving along the countryside. Not into that. I like the dark, grim, I don't know what the fuck is going on kind of ending.
So you don't like the theatrical cut?
I like the director's cut.
Right, yeah. So
Yeah.
you are a fan of the multiple cuts because you like one of them.
Well, no, I'm not a fan of it having so many. I do like one of them, though.
Okay.
And the theatrical is okay, but I do prefer the director's.
But yeah, we'll have to take a look at that and see if we can squeeze that in.
So when we
After-
because I'm sure we will review it. So how do we approach that? Do we talk about the multiple different cuts of the film?
Sure, why not? I've got a few of them. I don't know if I have all of them.
I've got a 5-disc set that has like every alternate cut, the major ones.
My father has that because I got it for him for Christmas one year because
Yeah, that's the briefcase.
he likes the movie.
Yeah,
The one that comes in the briefcase that has like the
Yeah.
like the cell from the film or whatever.
yep, I got the same one.
Yeah. I'd make fun of it, but I have my Lost Special Edition box set with the whole island and the game inside, so
That's
I
right.
should shut the fuck up.
You should shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Although I did get that for like $70 when it was going for 200. So.
Yeah, I don't believe you could still get it for that cheap. I think because they don't make it anymore, and I guess it's considered somewhat of a collector's item.
Is it? See, now I'm gonna have to peek at that while you introduce Arrival.
So, Scott and I came out with a kind of a schedule to review all of these things, and Arrival is slated for this week, directed by Denis Villeneuve, and starring Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Forrest Whitaker. And the basic premise is, out of nowhere, these kind of jade egg Gwyneth Paltrow put them in your vagina things come and land on Earth, and we don't know why. And they bring in...
We never know why. Do we ever know why aliens have landed?
I mean, ever, or just in this film?
Well, I mean, in the majority of films, we never know why. It's always like, I wonder why they're here.
Yeah. Well, one of the theories for just general aliens, with the big eyes, the slender gray faces, is that I've heard many a time by stoners, because when you're stoned, everything always makes more sense, is that that's us so far in the future, and we're coming back and abducting ourselves now to do experiments so that they can save themselves all the way in the future. Oh yeah, it makes way more sense when you're stoned. But I don't know why they've landed per se in this film, but they are here, and Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner and a group of scientists, but those are the two main characters in the film.
They're the
brought
head
in,
scientists.
Yeah, they're brought in to communicate, or at least try to communicate with these heptapods to figure out why they're here. Are they friendly? Are they, are they going to try and kill us? Things of that nature. So,
now, I believe Jeremy Renner is a physicist, and she is a linguist.
correct.
Yes, and they're brought in, like you said, they're brought in to try to figure out what the aliens want by the government. Who's now? I mean, I was not looking forward to watching this.
I did. I was interested.
I was it's
You
like
know-
sci-fi.
You know what I
not
didn't
a
like?
sci-fi fan.
I didn't like all the hype.
Oh, the hype kills anything. Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about all the hype. I wasn't crazy about how they talk about one of the best films ever made, a masterpiece. The twist will keep you up at night, or it'll make you
Yeah.
keep
Shut
you
the
thinking.
fuck up.
It's just like, just stop talking. So I tried to go in this as blindly as possible, and if you could even call it a twist, I dug it. I thought it was kind of neat.
Well, let's not get that far.
Well, are we going to talk about that? Like
well,
the
yeah,
ending
we are,
and what
but-
it means?
but-
And so
you know
we're
what?
going to
Not-
spoiler?
A mild spoiler down the road. I don't know if we'll reveal it at all. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But let me backtrack. I meant to get you a checklist this week, and I didn't do it.
Oh, that's right. You didn't.
But it's in my mind, and because again, when we review these films now, the first thing I want to talk about is the title, because this has come up a lot with us with films.
Do you have at least
and whether it's a good title or a bad title?
you have a partial punch list? Or at least
I do not. It's all in my head. So we're going to wing it now,
All
but
right.
I'll get it to you this weekend. I promise.
Very cool.
But let's talk about the title right now. Arrival. What are your
Yes.
feelings on the title of the film? Just
I
the title alone.
To be honest, it's not like Hell or High Water, like what we talked about last week, where it had all these like different meanings. It's a very simple, very basic, very ABC kind of title. They've arrived. They're here,
yeah,
and that's really where
different. Yeah,
that's really where it kind of begins and ends. I mean, you can maybe tie in the spoiler a little bit with it, but I think you'd be stretching.
not really.
I think you'd really be stretching it.
Right. I mean, I would paraphrase you a little bit and say that it's a shitty title.
Okay.
Very shitty.
Yeah.
Horrible, lame, mainstream, one-word bullshit title. Interestingly enough,
this director seems to like those one-word titles, though. I think everything he's directed is one word.
Now, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Again, the only thing I liked about the film Gravity, I thought the title worked.
Yes,
because the title had more depth than the film itself. Let me put it that way.
It had a few different meanings.
Now, Arrival is one of the films up for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yes.
And this film is based on a short story or novella called Story of Your Life.
Okay.
Now, the original title was Story of Your Life to the film, but test audiences did not like the title.
Of course.
Because it wasn't fucking stupid. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the title Story of Your Life either.
It sounds like a rom-com.
I don't like either titles, but
there was a film with Michelle Pfeiffer and Bruce Willis, I believe, called The Story of Us, and it was basically a romantic, dramedy. So I could see why that, test audiences were not for it.
For a minute there, I was thinking that there was a movie like that, like with that kind of title, with Michael Keaton in it. But I think that's My Life that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's one where he gets cancer.
That's one where he's like filming himself for his kid.
Yeah, because he's dying, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like movies like that. I really don't.
All right.
I don't even want to think. I don't like to think. I don't like to think that way. So
let's move on then.
Let's move on.
So the basic plot of the film, which you've already discussed.
Yes.
Now, it was one of the things that kept me from wanting to see the film because sci-fi. I'm not a huge sci-fi fan, and a lot of it's very repetitive. And like, oh, another alien's landing, and we don't know what they mean, and now we have to try to figure out what they want. Bullshit. It's like I might as well just go back and watch Sphere again.
Sphere.
That's what I said. Sphere.
I thought you said fear.
No, I said Sphere.
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 Fear.
Sphere.
Fear.
That's what exactly. Sphere.
Fear. Bjorn Borg.
And the whole thing of an intelligent life lands here, and we don't know how to communicate with it, and this leads to confusion, and of course we lean towards violence. Wow, I think what was that called? The Day the Earth Stood Still. Yeah, I've seen this film, so I wasn't interested in seeing it. Now again, this is before I saw it.
No. I think I did always want to see this. Mainly because of the director, because I said, you know what, this is like the third or fourth film that he's done that he's been praised for, and I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen anything this guy's directed. I was like, at least I need to see this.
Now, I do want to mention the cinematography and the director telling a story with the visuals.
Yes, he did very good with it.
What? I'm sorry?
He did very good with it, I think.
Oh, great. Now, I got into this a little bit in Hell or High Water, and you weren't on board with me.
Not entirely.
Right. Now, I want to run this by you with Arrival, and I think you'll be a bit more on board with me with this.
Okay.
The film is about perception and communication. Now, there's a mild spoiler alert here because it's kind of hard to talk about in detail about this film without giving away a bit of it. So, if you're concerned about that, you might not want to listen. I hate to say that, but I'm going to try not to give it away.
Okay.
But all right, so you understand that there's this alien race comes and they perceive reality or us or certain things
in a linear way.
We do, right?
In a linear way.
Well, we see it in a linear.
No, I thought they explained very clearly that their linear with the way they see time.
They're nonlinear.
Oh, non-linear. Yes, we're linear.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what you meant.
Yeah. I meant that's right.
Now, so thinking of that, if you go back and watch the opening scenes, everything is like the house, window frames, square window frames, background, everything. All these other shots, hallway, doorways, bookshelves, square rooms, square buildings. Everything is square lines. When the aliens appear, they're in these half-moon cylindrical shapes. Everything's round. Now, the only other area you see anything that's not lines, that's kind of semi-round, is when you're when you see her in her classroom where she's teaching at the college.
Right. Well,
So
and
that
that happens before they, or just as they arrive anyway. So.
Right. Well, yeah. But what I'm saying is like that's the only time you ever see anything kind of like curves up until you actually go to the aliens. Now the aliens, once we get there, again, more squares, tents, trucks, everything's square rooms, and even inside the alien ship, square rooms. But then when we deal with the aliens themselves and the alien ship, everything's cylindrical, everything's round, curved. And I thought cinematography-wise, it does a great job of putting those two images conflicting with one another on the screen at all times. Even like everything they bring up are in square boxes, square screens, square tab. Everything's lined, squared in boxes. We're compartmentalizing. And then the aliens, everything is fluid, multiple items. Ever like Ouroboros snail, snake eating his tail, kind of round. Their written language is circles with spikes and shit.
Yeah, it's got all different like peaks and whatnot, and circles are supposed to be infinite, so it ties in that way.
Yeah, it's going to sound stupid for me to say this, but this is a very visual film.
Extremely visual.
And it's so you have to be watching the film.
Well,
not just
excuse me.
it.
And I think that's one of the biggest reasons, other than the fact that it's actually a very well made film, and it's actually a very entertaining film. It's not just your run of the mill sci-fi movie. There's so much depth and body to the film.
Well,
as far as visually, the message it delivers specifically at the end, I think there's a lot more meat there than like say something like District 9, which got nominated for Best Picture. That's just a really good movie, but it's got a lot of different things going on. A lot of pots boiling.
I partially disagree.
Okay.
I don't think it's that that.
I'm not saying it's groundbreaking by any means. I'm just saying that there's a lot going on that you don't usually get in a standard sci-fi film.
It's not Independence Day. I'll give you that.
Well, duh.
What I see. My problem is when you talk about like really deep, multi-layered sci-fi films. For me, you get into shit that people can't even watch. This is like middle of the road for me. This is like there's something deep in there, but it's still a mainstream big budget film. So of course it's everything kind of spelled out to a certain point. I do like the fact that the film doesn't really, there aren't really any hammer over the head scenes in this film. No, I don't think.
No, not at all. I mean, everything is just kind of nonchalant.
I wouldn't say nonchalant. I would say subtle, subtext. And
it's a different way to say it.
Everything's information is given at a slow pace. I mean, the reveal at the end is very good. I mean, you catch on when you're supposed to, and it's one of those films that the beginning of the film makes you think it's going to be one way, but then once you get to the end of the film and it reveals its meaning, the beginning has a whole different context.
Yeah, it feels
it's a trick beginning.
Yeah,
put it that way.
It's not even like it.
No, it's a trick beginning.
No, I know, but when you get to the end and then you have to remember the beginning and why they did what they did. It almost feels like a different film in that moment because now you perceive the film differently.
Yeah, it's like season 2 of Lost.
Yeah, which my wife made me rewatch the entire first season after she saw me watching. I won't get into it for any lost people that haven't seen it yet. You should watch it. But the season 2 happens and it changes everything. And she comes in while I'm watching that scene. She's like, "Oh, I think I have to watch this." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I tried to get you to watch this with me with the first season. Now I had to watch the entire first season again and then get all the way up to where I left off on the second." And then she watched the other, 4 seasons with me anyway. So, but
I'm sorry. For me, it's right up there with Breaking Bad, one of the best TV shows ever. Although Breaking Bad was better.
Breaking Bad
easily.
was better.
Easily.
Lost is a solid number 2.
Yeah.
And I loved every minute of it until
warts and all, flaws and all,
until the very last 10
so
seconds.
I thought the last episode was good. I think you're just reading it wrong, and you need to give it a second chance. You're
Okay.
better than that.
I'm better than that.
You're better than all the people that whined about the season finale. You're better than that. Okay, give it another
But I
shot.
whined about it for a completely different reason.
All right. Now, cast of Arrival.
Yeah. Not a real all-star type cast. I mean, you got
Stop it.
like two or three really big names in Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Forrest Whitaker. But after that, you got some known faces. You got some known faces like Michael Stolbarg. No, not Michael. Yes, Michael Stolbarg. Wow, that's an old picture.
Stuhlbarg.
Which I like. He was in a TV show called Boardwalk Empire, where he played. Who did he play? He played. I'll tell you who he played. He played Arnold Rothstein, who was a millionaire who went bankrupt. He was also in the Men in Black 3 sequel.
Uh-huh.
He was the one that could see the future, where he's like, "This is now my favorite moment."
You know what? I wouldn't have placed him in that until you said that. So yeah, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
And other than that,
I liked him in this because what?
I said other than that, that's it as far as big names.
I like Michael Stuhlbarg in this as Agent Halpern because he's what you call the necessary asshole.
Yeah.
Like he's he's not a bad guy per se, but he's there just to say what everybody I know how government thinks. This is what they're thinking. Listen to me.
Right.
Yeah, I may be a dick, but I'm a dick because I'm right, because this is what everything's happening. So you can't really hate him.
Right.
You understand the frustration with him, but there's a part who's like, well, yeah, but he's right.
Yeah, he's kind of like the opposite of Paul Reiser in Alien, or Aliens.
Exactly.
He's kind of like the opposite.
That's perfect. I couldn't have thought of that. That's great. Yeah.
This is not my locker.
Michael Stuhlbarg's like, this is my fucking locker. Walk
exactly.
away.
Yeah, this is my locker. Yes, this is my locker.
Is Amir's Forrest Whitaker just get creepier as he gets older?
It's that lazy eye, man.
But he used to be like lovable with even like in
what, Ghost Dog?
Ghost Dog, Away the Assassin. Even there, even though he played like a cold-blooded like a killer, he still was a very warm, cuddly kind of character.
Sure.
But now, like in this, it's like, oh yeah, you creep me out. You're scary.
Well, I mean, ever since he played Idi Amin, he's just kind of like creepy guy.
Yeah, that's gotta. For a method actor, that's gotta like just rip the soul out of you.
Well, I mean, hey, it's a fucking Idi Amin's a major fucking. I mean, he won the Oscar for it, so.
Idi Amin won an Oscar?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it's crazy to believe that. I know. Well, you know what? I mean, Forrest Whitaker, he's all in with Scientology and whatnot. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in
Battlefield Earth. He's all in.
And the other film that kept springing to mind is he was in the what's his name? The remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers that was just called Body Snatchers.
With Donald Sutherland?
No, that was the 70s one.
Yeah.
That was Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But they did it. Abel Ferrara. Abel Ferrara did a remake in the late 80s, early 90s called Body Snatchers.
Oh, I remember that one. That was with the Meg Tilly's sister, the one that gets naked.
I think so. Yeah. and he played. I think he was like a military-based psychiatrist. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I could be wrong on that front. but he's in that too. And like just seeing him, the difference between his military characters and that and this one is a stark contrast.
Oh, sorry. Meg Tilly, which is, Jennifer Tilly
Meg
is
Tilly.
the one that doesn't get naked. She's, slutty and everything, but she doesn't get naked. But her sister, Meg Tilly, who isn't as slutty, gets naked and stuff.
I think Forrest Whitaker does a lot of military characters.
Yeah. Gabrielle Anwar is in that. I remember kind of liking that one.
I don't think I caught that one.
Abel Ferrara. That's funny.
Abel Ferrara, that's a good one.
I mean,
I'm an Abel Ferrara fan.
I can't believe they gave him money to do that, to be honest.
Why not?
Well, just because of the films that he's used to doing, like Bad Lieutenant, King of New York, Miss 45. Just doesn't seem like they give him any real money to make a movie like Body Snatchers.
I don't think it was a big budget film. I don't think they gave him as much money as you think.
Okay. I'll look it up real quick. And that came out in 93.
93, so I was late 80s, early 90s, right? All right. Now, so Arrival, as far as, I mean, my only problems with the film is the typical sci-fi nonsense. It's there, and it bothers me a bit, but that's me. Honestly, I was expecting this to be bored and annoyed with the film. I ended up enjoying it. Of course, I have a weakness for certain types of films, and this happened to be one of those types of films, and so I ended up loving it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. When I saw this, all I could think of is it's like now I know why Scott really liked this, because it's why I really liked it.
And also, I like it because there are many, many, many stupid people who don't understand the film and have complained about it on IMDb.
I don't understand what's so hard.
I know. Isn't it really like you just like, what don't you understand?
I heard a certain member of my family didn't like it, and I wasn't surprised.
Say no more.
The word hate. It's like, hate this movie was the sentence. I'm like, okay.
Well, I like it even more now. Wow. I mean, I have to own this on Blu-ray now.
Blu-ray.
And what I find great too is a lot of these films, like if you go through again, if you need a giggle, go through the IMDb message board. You won't have to go more than 5 or 6 before you hit some idiot. And in this case, there were a couple ones who come out and say, "Oh, it's a typical left-wing film, so the woman's right because it's her choice." It's like, what? Were you watching the film? Shh, fuck up.
Sorry, I sneezed over that. Body Snatchers only made $428,000.
Yeah, it didn't get a big release.
No, it was released in 34 theaters. You know what? 428,000 on 34 theaters is actually kind of impressive.
No, it was probably just like an East Coast West Coast release.
It's for Abel Ferrara.
Ferrara, yeah.
I don't think he's ever really gotten. I don't think he's ever really gotten a wide release.
Good. America doesn't deserve Abel Ferrara.
That's right. Keeps him honest.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, but I wasn't. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed the film, even though I didn't want to see it because I had bias against it, and I like it more now. But that's because I have bias for it. So I'm not a great objective reviewer of this film.
Nah.
Now, do I think it's Best Picture? No, definitely not. What else is it up for?
It's up for 8 Oscars.
Directing?
Yep.
Maybe. I haven't. Again, it's the only film I've seen that's up for directing so far. But it wasn't bad directing-wise. Directing. Editing? Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, and you know what? And I hate to say this, everyone that votes on these categories, I dare to say they don't know what a good edited film is either.
Unless they actually work on
Yeah, I mean,
if you actually work in the film industry, you might have a better but editing. I mean, I know how a film pieces together. All these films that are up for editing, they're all very well edited. Right. How much more can you get?
But someone that's in that business, someone that maybe an editing company, it's like, listen, the best edited film is this, And you know what? It'll never be nominated because it's not the kind of film that gets nominated. But an editing company might be like, yeah, that film, the absolute best edited film this year, tight as a snare drum.
I mean, I guess pacing will go a lot into it. That I have to wait and see. If I had to choose between this and Hell or High Water, I would go Hell or High Water.
For editing?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else? It's up for design, but we know it's not going to win for design.
No.
Because
what period piece is up?
Yeah, exactly. And what period pieces are up?
Is it Florence Foster Jenkins in there by any chance?
No, it's Fantastic Beasts, Hail Caesar, La La Land, Passengers, and Arrival. Without having seen the other films, I'm guessing Fantastic Beasts or...
well, you know why? Because it's early 20th century. Done.
Yeah. Passengers, what's that?
That's the one with... what's-his-face from Guardians of the Galaxy and what's-her-face from every fucking Ken O. Russell movie.
This summer, what's-his-face and what's-her-face?
Yeah.
In that thing by Ken Russell.
The Academy, they love her. She's in the fucking Hunger Games movies.
Oh, that chick, yeah.
I'm sick. I can't. I'm not thinking straight.
For adapted screenplay, again, it's a little hard to say, but I don't know. I just don't see a sci-fi film winning that many. Maybe it'll get like sound mix.
It's up for that.
Yeah, it's up for sound mix and sound edit. So maybe it'll get one of those two.
What else is up for sound mixing and editing? Because usually, almost always, the same movie wins both.
For sound edit, we have Deepwater, Hacksaw, La La, and Sully. Okay. And then for sound mix is Hacksaw, La La, Rogue, and 13 Hours.
So it's not up for any of them. Oh,
Arrival. I didn't bother saying Arrival because we know.
It's probably got to go to Deepwater because there's a lot of explosions.
I was thinking Hacksaw for both.
Probably, you know what? That's the easy win because they're not going to give Mel Gibson anything else. It's like here, have some sound, fuckface.
Yeah. But you know what? It's I hate to say it, but I actually would recommend this film to let me put it this way. I would recommend this film to like my mother.
Oh boy. Because
I think she'll understand it.
Okay.
Now that sounds mean. I don't mean it to be, but like she likes science fiction films. My father likes science fiction films. My father would definitely dig this film, but I like science fiction. But the films I like, she doesn't understand, and I'm totally on board with that. I get it. The films I like are stupid.
She tells you that
they're they're just like ridiculous. But this is. You'd probably have to explain the ending to her, but she'd like it.
Okay.
I think. So I would actually recommend this film to people. I actually told Holly she might like this.
Oh, this wasn't one of the films that she put an H next to?
No. The only Best Picture film she put an H next to was Hacksaw.
Oh, I actually have Mare's list somewhere of all the films that she put an M next to. And Arrival just happened to be one of them.
Oh.
Hidden Figures was not.
With her?
Yeah, we watched it together.
What'd she think?
She loved it.
She has to come on the show sometime. You know that.
I've mentioned him numerous times, and I told her that. What was the one episode that we were going to do?
We should do Dirty Dancing, and make her do the show, and defend it.
She's not going to be able to. She's not. She knows that. We should do it anyway, though.
I think we should do like a couples episode where all four of us get together like in the same room and just talk films.
Oh, I remember. She was going to do the Oscars with me last year because you couldn't make it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
she backed out on me at the last second.
Well, I might be punking out on you this year too.
Bastard.
Well, again, my anniversary.
I don't care about your anniversary.
Once I get married, I'll be able to play off the anniversary to a different anniversary. We'll be good.
Fine.
All right. Give me this year. But yeah, I would recommend the film. It's a decent sci-fi film. I would really. It's probably the best. I mean, it's ignoring the hype, it's probably the best sci-fi film that came out this year.
I'd
I
have
would
to-
need a list of all the other
Yes,
sci-fi things
I was-
looking out this year to compare it to.
I was
but
just going to say that. I would need a list of everything, but as of right now, I would agree with that.
I don't remember any other big sci-fi film. Ignoring Star Wars. But that's sci fantasy. It's a whole
Well, I
different
think that
ballpark.
would have to be included in that, but yes.
I don't know. Again, that's sci fantasy. Whole different thing.
Huh, what else came
And
out this year?
this is strictly an adult film. This is not like a family film like Star Wars is.
Yeah, I mean, it's PG-13, and it's just like...
Well, it's PG-13, but I mean, it's
if
not.
you're 13, it's just a rating. It's like 13-year-olds
Exactly.
probably aren't going to want to watch this.
Yeah, they aren't looking for a young audience. They just have the PG-13 there because there really wasn't anything bad in the movie.
Right.
Oh,
This is true.
we tried the right tits in. We couldn't find a spot.
Yes, Amy Adams
You know?
is a total prude.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Any like sex scene would have been awkward.
Yeah,
You know?
how do I get the scantily clad shot in this for my cover?
You don't.
No, I always find
Oh,
something.
I know. You got to get her like in like the white wife beater shirt when she's putting on the hazmat suit.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
And I think it was cold in that room, so that works.
Can I say something about Jeremy Renner?
Yeah.
He's the most versatile actor I've ever seen.
He really is.
I mean, he's not versatile in as far as he's kind of playing the same character every time he does something.
Yeah, he's like
However-
the Morgan Freeman of white people.
Yeah, right. But it's like, but then again, I just recently watched the Bourne Legacy with him.
Oh, right. That's
And
when
then
they
he's
tried to
been,
go
like-
over. They tried because they didn't know if Matt Damon would do it anymore, and they just said, "Okay, we're going to branch out and do someone new." And from what I heard, he's very good in it.
He's probably the best part of it.
Oh wow!
I don't know, but yeah, I watched all 5 of them in a row, all 4 of them in a row, and the 5th one I watched on the airplane. And I got to tell you, it's like after the 3rd or 4th one, you're like, yeah, I've seen this already. You're not really bringing too much.
I don't
It's
think
really very formulaic.
I don't think it's meant to be watched that way.
No, I don't think so. Yeah,
I don't
you're not
think-
supposed to read all the books in a row either.
Yeah, I don't think they ever intended those to be done in a marathon type setting.
Yeah, but so he does that where he's like this big secret agent kind of guy, action fan, or he's Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, he's Hawkeye. All right, I want to make sure I wasn't
Hawkeye?
mixing it up with DC.
Did you say
No,
Hawkeye?
Hawkeye's DC. What's the Marvel version?
No, Hawkeye is Marvel.
Oh, Green Arrow's DC. Thank you. All right,
Yes.
I got it backwards.
Or is Nighthawk DC?
Nighthawk is DC. That's Robin. He becomes Nighthawk.
That's right.
No arrows
Okay.
involved.
Yeah.
He actually has like a staff, I think.
Staph
anyway.
infection.
Anyway, all I'm trying to say is that, like, Renner's in that. Renner's in, fucking Hurt Locker,
Hurt Locker.
and then he's in this, and he plays like a soldier, a super secret agent, and a nerdy scientist, and he's plays them almost the exact same way. Yeah, I totally buy it every time. It's weird. I like watch it. It's I should have the same reaction to him playing the physicist as I do what's his name playing the science teacher in Happening.
Oh, John Leguizamo.
No, not John Leguizamo, the lead.
Oh,
Mark
yeah,
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Hey guys, what about the bees dying? What do you think of that? Like, no, you're no fucking way. You're a science teacher. Fuck off. No.
Hey guys, come on! What about all these bees?
So it's like I should have the exact same reaction to him, and this movie's like, "Hi, I'm a physicist," but I'm like, "Yeah, I believe that." It's just fucking something weird about him. He's like a chameleon, but he's a chameleon that always looks the same.
I'd love to have a beer with that guy. I bet he'd be fun to hang out with. I think so.
I think I'd expect only I guess, but only if there's like a bar fight.
I'll get into a bar fight to hang out with Jeremy Renner.
I think so. Yeah.
Sure, because you know what? You get in a bar fight with Jeremy Renner, some cool people are probably going to show up.
I remember him. The first time I ever saw Jeremy Renner was back when he did this TV show. Back when I was still watching television.
What was that?
And it's I'm looking to see. We're talking early 2000s, maybe late 2000s.
Let me see. What was the first thing I ever saw him in?
I'm trying to find it real quick. It was before The Hurt Locker. It was a TV show. It only lasted one season, I think. And I'm not seeing it. I'm going through all of his stuff right now. I didn't know he was an episode of Strange Luck. That's funny, because I liked that show, and I don't remember him. But he was like the lead character. It was a TV show about cops. It was a cop TV show.
Wait, you're not talking about Reno 911, are you?
No, that's a comedy. This was like a straight cop TV show.
Okay, fine. He was in CSI one episode. That's not it, right?
No, that's not it.
First thing I ever saw him in was SWAT.
See, I saw SWAT, but I don't remember him from SWAT. Oh, The Unusuals. That's it. It lasted one season.
The Unusuals.
And in 2009, it was actually a year after Hurt Locker, so I'm incorrect on that.
He was in 28 Weeks Later, too. Oh, I remember. Didn't he get burned alive in that?
Oh, shit, yeah. He's the guy that gets burned alive in 28 Weeks Later. I forgot about that.
That's right. Maybe that was the first thing I ever saw him in, and then I saw SWAT later.
Let me rephrase this. The first thing I recognized him in, and ignoring The Hurt Locker, I must have seen The Hurt Locker after I saw the TV show, because I guess The Hurt Locker, like by the time I saw Oscars were probably out after.
Right.
But I remember I swear I saw him in The Unusuals first, and he played a cop in that. But yeah, then he was in The Town, which I didn't see until like 5 years after it came out.
I still haven't seen it.
It's okay.
I heard it's good.
It's not bad. It's good. It's okay.
Takes place in Boston.
It's probably the most different character he's ever played that I've seen.
Played James Coughlin.
Oh yeah, even Mission Impossible. And then that he plays that like he's like the political guy that gets involved at the side. I buy that too. It's just weird. He's weird that way. He could play a nun, and I'd buy it. It's like, hey, the church is getting kind of lax. Who knows? I mean,
I still have to see Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. Haven't seen it yet.
Okay. I made it through like the first 20 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't finish.
Oh boy.
No real reason. I was just like,
That's funny.
And the thing is, like the first 10 minutes, he's not even in it because it's like his little kids for the first 10 minutes.
That's right. Because Hansel.
Yeah,
and
but once I knew where the film was going, I was like, I've been here. It was called Van Helsing. I'm done.
Van Helsing.
It's almost like a cross between Van Helsing and the Brothers Grimm.
Yeah. Who directed that?
And like even though the film doesn't seem to take itself too seriously, it's still just too much.
It says he's in an untitled Jeremy Renner Bourne sequel. So are they going to go back and forth between him and Matt Damon?
Well, that would
be smart, I think.
The Legacy actually takes place during the third film. They kind of did that overlap where his story takes place during the third film.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of coincide with each other. His like overlaps a little bit further.
That's funny. You know who directed Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters?
Who?
Tommy Wirkola. He's famous for Dead Snow.
Now I have to go back and finish it.
Dead Snow. Yep. Somebody saw that and said, "Yeah, I'll give this guy $50 million. Why not? Why not?"
But yeah, I'll tell you though. Again, it's not like I didn't stop watching it because it was bad. Like it was like, I can't take this anymore. I mean, that's why I still haven't gotten through Batman Forever.
They've announced Hansel and Gretel.
No, Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin. That's why I still haven't gotten through that.
Oh God, Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters 2 is announced for him to direct.
Oh, well, I'll have to finish watching that one. I mean, but it was just like, I know where this is going. I know it all. I'm not interested. That was the only reason. So it wasn't bad as much. It was just like, I see where the joke is. And I already seen enough of him shooting arrows. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
But overall, I'd say a decent film. Now IMDb has it at 8.2.
Hey, that's okay. It's high.
It is high. Where do you want to go with it?
I'd say 7.
I agree. I don't want to go higher than 7 on this.
I mean, again, we can't do those half-point ones, but feet to the fire, I would go 7.5, but I'm fine with a 7.
No, I'm not putting your feet in the fire for this.
Thank you.
I mean, for me, a sci-fi film that goes over 7 would be like The Thing,
Yeah, that's about as.
or
Thing is-
Aliens.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I'd go 8 or 9 on Aliens.
And I do the same for maybe 10 on the thing, just because
Oh, The Thing, definitely
it's just
10. Fuck
so
you.
fucking good.
Of course, it's 10. How's that even a question? Why would you even
just
say maybe?
Did you say "fuck you" to me?
Yeah, what do we mean maybe 10 on The Thing? What the fuck's your? Well,
Did
you're
I say
sick.
ma-
You're
did
not
I-
thinking
did I say
straight.
maybe?
I
I didn't mean maybe.
understand.
I didn't mean maybe, man.
You want to say 7?
7, perfect.
7. All right. 166,000 votes. We come in at 7.
No, I've seen 170,000 votes.
Yeah, nothing crazy here. The highest demographic is females under 18. Gee, I wonder why. Well, actually, no, I do wonder why. You know why? Because it's touchy feely. That's
Yeah.
why. Jeremy Renner doesn't even take his shirt off. I mean, that's why.
That's funny. When you loaded up the page, it was at 166. It's at 170. Like 170,052. I just refreshed. It's 170,546. So 500 votes, just in the time that I refreshed the page, like within 10 minutes.
People are catching up for the Oscars. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think they're listening to our podcast, and they decided that they had to go.
Let
review
me
it.
let me rephrase this. The highest demographic is males. Females under 18, 8.8. Lowest demographic
Whores.
is males 45 and older, 7.7. So it's only off by 1 point, but there's that thing of the young girls and old men don't agree on Arrival.
Funny. That's how our voting goes too. Our real life politics.
So that's it for Arrival. Now next episode we're going to be reviewing.
Hidden Figures.
I thought it was Hidden Fences.
Dude.
Yes, Hidden Figures. We'll be diving into the Black Gold part of the Oscars this year.
Black Gold.
Black Gold. We'll be reviewing Hidden Figures, and that'll be episode 231.
That is correct.
And you'll hear that. You can catch that. It's probably posted right now if you go to look.
That's right.
Yes.